Peace House family. It's that time, 9 p.m. We're rocking to 12 a.m. It's the Pop-Up House Heads. We're back. I'm Ghost Cam 7, your host. We got the co-hostess Andy Boop, as well as the resident DJ, DJ B, always in the pocket, bringing you that deep house action. And tonight's special guest, in honor of Women's Month, DJ Skyywalker. The show's definitely gonna be fire. We're coming off some hot shows. Shout out to DJ Spivey, as well as Kevin Latham, DJ Youssef. The list goes on. And now DJ Skywalker's gonna put it down. So make sure you tune in. Continue to support, share the show. Shout out to everybody who's giving us drops, the singers, as well as 2 exclusive interviews with the guest DJ and dancer Shanae Webb. And now enjoy our resident DJ, DJ B. DJ B.
touch. Ghost Cam 7 in effect.
Yeah.
New York to ATL represent.
Funk box. Peace.
All day.
Greetings, all you fellow poppers out there. Listen, I'm that girl, Andy B, along with hosts
Ghost Cam 7.
Ghost Cam 7 in the house.
What up, what up, house family?
Hey, I hope everybody's staying safe out there.
Word.
Okay, really, trying to stay COVID free. Now, guys, on this segment of Pop-Up House Heads, and of course, in honor of International Women's Month, we have a very special guest. Very, very special guest. We have house dancer extraordinaire Sinead West. What's
Yeah,
up?
thank you.
Hey! How you doing?
Thank you.
Welcome
Love
to
it.
the show. Welcome to the
How
show.
are you?
I'm excellent. Very happy to be here with my ATL fam. Yeah, let's do this.
We happy to have you here. Thanks for taking the time.
Let me say, Shanae, you always been regular and different and very sincere and a very humble soul. I always appreciate your presence.
Oh, well, thank you for all those compliments, for real. From the way the intro to all those words you use, especially the word sincere, because that's like probably one of my main ingredient of my being, you know. So to hear that, to hear all those words reciprocated back, what I want to give out,
What's happening, everybody?
it's an honor, it's a compliment, you know. You gotta say thank you. 2 words, thank you.
That's what it's about. We appreciate your patronage and listening to the show. What do you think about the show, about the Pop-Up House Head show?
Well, Arrow, see how I could call you Arrow or Ghost Cam? That's how you know we go back.
We got many handles over here.
So I love all your shows. I remember you know, from you actually in person having a camera to you guys having to subject yourselves, you know, as far as it's on you. With virtual life, it's on you. You don't have to. But, you know, you decided to indulge in the virtual way, and it's just as great as if how you rock in person. You know, the energy, you want to make sure it looks good, the quality, you know. So respect to you as a videographer. As I wish I could remember what Nina Nata used to call you. And it's not going to come to her now. If it comes to me for the interview out, I will repeat that and shout out to Nina, because I know she always has love for me. You know?
No doubt. I mean, those were most of the interviews we used to see you rocking at. So the Weekender, shout out to the Weekender and that whole team.
Missing it.
Oh my goodness.
Shout out to Prince in the background. You know she missing it. What was that, Thursday nights?
Oh man.
My hubby in the background. I hope you guys can see him all over me.
That time that she came dressed as Prince, early, what was that, 2014, 2015? So I got the pictures. We got the video.
Don't show nobody.
I love it. Yeah, I got the video.
All right. Shout out to our resident DJ B. You know,
What's up, B?
Yes.
He been bringing
shout out.
And shout out to all the people, all the DJs that have spun on the show. I mean, appreciate everything that y'all have done. And going forward this year, we're lining it up. Andy Boop is like helping us, you know what I'm saying? Like doing some booking. We're about to get popping, as they say, right?
You know it.
So let's get down with the interview. And the first question. So, Shanae, where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised in Camden, New Jersey, which is the truly south side of Jersey, across from Philadelphia. I can see all the connecting bridges. I grew up crossing those bridges over to Philly as a kid and returning as far as I work. That is my place of occupation now, as far as with Marriott, you know. So, and I've crossed the bridge during the pandemic, but I can count on one hand for something I needed to do. But as far as getting on our local train called Paco that crosses over, I haven't seen it in a year because I haven't been at work, you know. Thank God I've been okay on furlough, you know, and mindset and being able to take care of my necessities, you know.
Now, Shanae, why don't you tell us when and where did your passion for dance come from?
Okay. I realized I could dance when I was a little kid. Being courageous enough to participate in elementary school when we would have a cool little dance contest. Now, the interesting thing, not knowing any jargon of dance, anything about the word circle, cipher, we actually used to be in a circle, you know, go, you know, rooting for each other. But the reason why I had to use the word courageous is because Camden is survival. My mom did a hell of a job as a single parent. As far as, yes, I had a stepfather, but mom took on mom's role, if you know what I mean,
Yeah,
and
that's what we
it's
do.
keeping us safe in such an urban area. So that was, it truly was like, that's just getting free, being with your friends. But you hear like, yo, you could dance though, but no one's saying like you should take classes. That wasn't a thing in the area. Like somebody pushing to go to dance school. Like you truly are your own freestyle self. But then I wasn't worrying about it because the blessing is, I like to this day, I'm extracurricular, meaning I don't just make dance my life. So that was just moments to know, like, obviously it's a seed inside of me that just needs to come out more and more. That comes through life as we go through the questions.
Right. Well, you know what? Now, I know personally that you have a very organic style of dance, but was there any place or even anything that you drew inspiration from?
I'm glad you asked it. Thank you for making me have that memory flashback. Dance hall is my first love, actually, before house.
What?
Those organic beats. Actually, I should say dance hall / Caribbean. A lot of it probably has to do with my first relationship. He was Jamaican and a crazy dancer. So me and him used to do a lot of dance contests because that was truly junior high school sweetheart on out. So we had a ball being young kids, but our young kids was healthy fun. So, oh man, yeah, we danced a lot because of dance hall music. Yeah, and just on that, I'm going to skip and say that truly is what catapulted me to the beats of house music.
Wow,
because
that's
it was
interesting.
It was like, okay, this is how we were with dance hall, the body movements, the freedom, and then I'm hearing, the only difference is now I'm not hearing the dance hall lyrics. I'm hearing our American music, as far as our R&B artists, or at that time, as they say, neo soul artists.
For a non-house head to hear you say that, they wouldn't understand the correlations between the two styles of dancing. Like, oh, well, how would dance hall integrate into house? And where how that, but that's interesting. That's really interesting.
Back in the days, I used to attend the wild pitch parties and Bobby Conder's on the other side, spinning that. So it was a combination of house, and then you took a break, and then you went to the reggae side and came back, or back in the days, really, the break from house was reggae. At least in Boston, Club M days, certain places in New York, definitely the wild pitch. So I kind of know it for having the balance of reggae and house.
Bobby Conder's, you took me back. He used to do our college.
Back. Yeah, the Bobby Conder's, that's going way back. Like you said, Shanae. I mean, I remember listening to Bobby on the radio, and I'm sitting up whining in the mirror, thinking, I'm Patra or somebody.
Right. Shout out to BLS. Patra. Wow, that's going way back too. Shelly.
Right.
Okay.
Damn. Yep. And then for me, Bobby Conder's did our campus parties. A lot of them. We used to hire him as far as I was a part of the college promotional team here and there. So we had some great DJs at that time, celebrity DJs that would come right to our campus. The DJ Clue. If I'm not mistaken, I think he might have been one. If I'm not, I know Bobby Conder's is one because we had bashment parties, and I love those moments. But yeah, but we had some great DJs even just on the college level. So yeah.
Now, Shanae, in all fairness, this show is about house, but
like that.
What style of music is your preference? Like what's
okay,
top tier, second tier in terms of the type of music that you dig the most?
That's cool. So we already talked about dancehall. So dancehall leads me to what has become my favorite house genres. Soulful house, because you're going to hear the most lyrics. And then tribal house, because you're going to hear those beats.
That's right.
But as much as I'm not a fan, I like how I say that because it's not like I will get down if an EDM is being played technically right. You know, like I've gotten down in some EDM spots in Philadelphia, Club Shampoo. You know, and the reason why I was even there is mainly because it was it's like a more of an LGBT style club, but I'll get down to, but they're paying mainly technical, a lot of technical house, you know. So, but that just shows a dancer, in my opinion, can dance to all genres. I think people forget that, in my opinion, in house music. I come from that's why you see that freestyle in me. I'm going to go with basically the story of the DJ, with the DJs playing. So I don't know what my body's going to do. So I'm going to take anything I've ever done and amplify that, or try to create something new in my head in that moment. So yeah, definitely my top two tiers of house is definitely soulful and tribal. Soulful first, then tribal. I would say they're kind of hand in hand. Yeah, but I can't take constant like as much as I love my African beats, I want to hear vocals. I want to hear some vocals too. Yeah.
Okay.
That's your Jersey roots. Vocally strong. Yeah, a lot of their singing. Burrell Brothers and strong vocals. So
right.
All right.
Right. And the irony, you said Jersey, Zanzibar, but I was still a baby. But I know to pay homage to my house history.
See, and let me just say that one thing being that you have your foot in both generations. It's like you have an old soul and a young spirit and a young body, and you move with a young mindset, but you have a respect, and that's needed. You know, that bridging of that gap is needed, because that's where we're kind of losing, you know, the house, and then versus the EDM crowd, the technical, like it's many genres that need to kind of mesh together, and people like yourself kind of help with that. So we appreciate you. I filmed you, of course, seen you in many circles, seen you doing your solo thing, you know, tearing up the dance floor. Were you affiliated with any crews, or you know, what's your take?
Okay, so I'm definitely not going to stay affiliated with crews, but I'll give you the quick ATL house history it'll lead you to the present, kind of. When I entered into Atlanta, first I moved down out of love with my partner, you know. So she used to go, that was our thing. We would go to those Shampoo EDM style clubs. So technically, I don't know in familiarity how familiar she was with the soulful side, but I was familiar with the soulful side because of Philadelphia and going to a place called Savannah. So if somebody triggered me, I'm going to know it, you know. So one night at it's actually MJQ's, where I hear, you know, at that time I was basically, you know, you just falling in line of like, where are things good. MJQ was known as a great spot. I didn't know what to expect, but but people said, "Folk, get down there. Like if you like to dance, go there." Cool, go there, and it was exactly what they said. You know, very underground. Truly goes underground. You know, they was playing, you know, some good how, you know, it was good. So that night, I came across a DJ by the name of Lene Denise. You know, saw me on the dance floor. I think we met even before that, but that I don't want to get away from the whole what we're here for. But nevertheless, she said, "Okay, you like house. I want you to follow me somewhere." I'm like, "Cool, this sounds fun," you know. Me and who I was with at the time followed. I remember once we were in a line of cars, lights are flashing, your emergency lights. I'm like, where the heck are we going? But obviously, it's a lot of people. This looks cool. Over some railroad tracks. And when we entered this spot, I just remember the ambiance, first of all, took me out. And it was actually called Secrets Party, which was being done by, at the time, Tiffany Marie, and her helping
Shout out
hand.
Tiffany.
Yep, and her helping hand, Isis. I have to shout out Isis because Isis was like the decorator, and Tiffany was the business side, you know. And ironic, women's history right here. A lot of people don't talk about that. So at that time, you know, the ambiance was candles, the curtains, the incense. I was like, oh, this is hot to death. the music vibing. I remember the guy that was Yusuf. I didn't know it was Yusuf.
DJ Yusuf.
Yeah. So I continue to follow her parties. And so following those beginning stages of house, as far as with the Secrets Party, That Girl Inc., I encountered DJs like Carlos Mena, Oshun Lade, Mickey Affleck at the time before, because she's now on her producer side. She's doing very well. So, you know, Mickey afflicted, because she's afflicting people big time. And but then I want, you know, other party I started meeting other promoters. I was a taxi driver in Atlanta. That's a whole nother story. But as a taxi driver, I would take I would take my breaks. Pre-Uber, checker cab. The number, dispatch, holding it down for like almost 2 years, making some good fast money.
The petition, the meter, all of that.
Yeah, and they let me keep the card. I didn't have a card. That's what I said. That's my story. But when I was a taxi driver, oh my God, that was my break to. When I want to get out that car, I would get out the car to go dance. So I was extra always trying to find the hottest house music event. And I don't even know sometimes how it would happen. You know, that's how you know you're naturally doing something right. Because whoever I was meeting up with and giving me information, and I apologize if I can't remember all names and everything. That's how I encountered your Ramon when he had the gatherings in the beginning. At the warehouses as well, old school. Meeting some fly dancers like Twa. You know, I'm gonna keep it real. Monty and I have had a moment, but I am gonna put his name out there because he is a part of those dancers in those dancer circles. Definitely and official, right? His friend. Right. You know, I like to keep it so real. Like, I don't care what other side stuff is going on. This is the story. This is the journey. You know. And then Ramon to Moody Breaks. And he was more, that was to me when the Afro beats was kicking in. And then that's how I would encounter Stan Zeff with his cigars outside these different venues before he started Tambor. Yep. Wow.
Okay.
And, but his demeanor was always so humbling, kind-hearted. Everybody for the most part was, but it was just something about Stan Zeff and I at the time that grew in friendship, you know.
Seeing people outside the club, when the music's not loud, right?
Yeah, that's probably why. Yeah, and he was always the outside guy at the time, just chilling. Yep.
All right, and then so now I see you at the parties, and you be dancing with Ramadan, correct? What was your feeling?
Yeah. Okay.
Ramadan.
Yeah. So by the time I met Ram, I'm already about 10, definitely between 10 to 12 years living in Atlanta. So I put some good grounding down, you know. But I was also getting a little wary of Atlanta, thinking about moving, you know, hence, you know, it was already setting in. And Ramadan's creative project is what led me to him, Urban Spirit Dancers. We're all a part of that. That's sitting right here on the screen.
In that documentary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was to me, it was the first of its kind. They call it now. They have even names for it now because you have docu-series, docu-series. So that's what he had. He did a docu because it was different parts. Yep. So that creative project sparked my interest in Atlanta again because he and I, till this day, vibe on a great intellectual and spiritual level, you know, in conversation. Yeah. So, but that we didn't expect it to turn in just me and him. Like, we started branding Urban Spirit Dancer truly. We tried to send commercials to Adidas. We even got replies back. They didn't want to use the word spirit in the name, so they sent us some coupons, and at least they responded, you know? Things people don't know that we did. Yeah.
You shot y'all shot, basically. That's beautiful.
We did a lot. That's when we truly showed how you could perform with house anywhere. So we performed thank you to DJ 1-5, and at the time, Deep Music, that's what they were going by. So it was 1-5, Love Locks, and Tashawn. So we performed at the big festival. What's that one called down there in Fort Ward? It's every year. It's huge. It's usually a few days, like all weekend.
Oh,
and I hate that
like
I
the Auburn Fest.
Yes, we performed on that type of venue, big old Auburn Festival, huge stage. I still have the footage.
Wow.
We performed for CC Peniston, thanks to Stans F. We performed for the deaf culture because I'm friends with them, you know, through the LGBT scene and other LGBT parties. Because I would take him with me, and we meshed on a dance floor, freestyle, and not ever coordinating. It naturally just meshed, you know.
You guys were the Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire of house.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. He would love. I love that compliment.
What clubs, house clubs, did you like to perform and dance? Like where did you really feel it at? What spots?
Okay. We made our mark down when people really would see us. It's that little street. It's where they do a lot of artistry, poetry.
Apache.
There we go. We were getting down one night at one of Stan's F parties at Apache.
I remember.
Yeah, but that's truly how the performance took off. So, a friend of mine seen us there, and she went crazy, and was like, "Yo, I need you." It was the role set, and we even had a good night just hanging out with rest in peace to this dancer's soul, Voodoo Ray. With him,
Voodoo Ray. Shout out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shanae, remember the last time Voodoo Ray was here in Atlanta? He and Tony Touch, and we were all in the back of Apache. We were back there.
Top five. But because it wasn't just about dancing, we were conversing. We was having long conversations. Yep. It was a long night. We went. Ramadan and I end up going all the way till the morning, just chit chatting, mainly with Voodoo. With Ray, because Tony Touch went to sleep. He was tired. Yep. But remember, we went to breakfast, Landmark Diner, shout out, and sun was coming up, and we still chit-chatting. Yep.
Wow. Rest in power, Voodoo Ray. Definitely.
Yes.
All right. Now, if you had just one mix that you can listen to in the Jeep. Oh, and for those of you that don't know Shanae had a badass Jeep that you take the doors off of and take the rooftop off of, and you know, it'd be her and her
Suzuki Sidekick. She had a Suzuki Sidekick.
I did not have.
No, she did have a sidekick. Her sidekick was you hear back there barking, chewing, her dog. That was her sidekick. But listen, if you had that one mix while you rolling, Shanae, what would that mix be?
You think you slick, first of all. I like the pump up. Okay. And I'm still Jeep driving, just newer versions. I just found the car that messes with me. But
okay, sis. Okay.
No, because I'm not going to answer with it. I can't do that. It's not that I can't. I'm sorry. It's not that I can't. That's too many. I'm going through a library. So what I do is I usually pump whatever I haven't heard. That's actually the time where I get a chance to listen to somebody I'm a fan of, or even close, you know, whatever at the time, in the moment, whomever has some mixes going on, like let me catch up, you know, and listen to something I haven't heard. The only thing I'm probably going to figure out is if it's going to keep me. Believe me, I'm the type, if it ain't keeping me, change. It's enough mixes out there. You know, that's why I'm a freestyle, free agent dancer. Like, I have a passion for a lot of these DJs, from the kings to the queens. It's hard for me to be tied down to a crew, not knocking crews. I can hold my own, but be kind-hearted and be willing to share the dance levels with any and everyone. So I really never wanted to be mixed up and tied to anybody. You know, it's kind of how I live my life. If I'm going to be loyal to you, I'll be loyal to you. But I differentiate, you know, things that are fans, things that are coworkers, dance brothers and sisters. You have to, because you'll start going crazy as you meet people along the way, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
That was really politically real conservative right there. Exactly. I thought the question was, you was whipping in the car and you could only snatch up one file, and you was riding 3 hours What's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be?
No. Okay, fine. Since you said 3 hours, I am going to choose a marathon DJ. I'm not going to front, and I can say who I have chosen a whole lot. Jihad.
So we
I ain't going to front.
We can sweep PC out the window now.
Oh yeah, it's gone.
PC is gone.
Because he trying to test me. So since you said 3 hours, like if I know how long my road trip is, exactly. I can say who I've chosen a lot through my life before even moving back to Jersey. Jihad, he knows from, especially now being home, getting to see and hear him a lot. You know, I like to kind of miss him now. I can't front. Shout outs to Jihad and his brilliancy of music. But the man, he's my first initial DJ where I would tune into SoundCloud. I'm like, did this dude have a mix for 3 hours, 4 hours?
Right.
Damn! But a lot of them are doing it now. Beloved, it's another one that went recently during COVID. 13 hours is the longest I heard, and that was Ray Mackle, who does Jamboree in New York. 13 hours on Twitch. I wasn't in the room. He always upload.
Tyrone Francis went long as well.
He's another great one. See what I mean? We can go a list. We not doing that. But at least I gave you one at least. And I think that was a great one.
Wait, no, you gave us more than one. You gave us more than one. But you know what? I want to say you speak, wait, this is about you, the dancer. But you mentioned Beloved. And I don't know if a lot of people, heck, I didn't discover it until probably about three or 4 years ago, that Beloved is wicked on the floor.
Ooh.
He is wicked on the floor with the feet. Listen, I ain't discovered that. I went to a shelter reunion. I don't know when that was. Like probably about 3 years ago now. Mm-hmm. Man, I was like, wait a minute. I know this ain't Beloved out. Wait a minute, dude. Did you just get done spinning and now you out here spinning? You know.
So that's funny you say that. I could tell he's good with the moves, but I haven't that you had an experience I haven't had yet, and I'm home now. But mind you, if I came home in 2018 and COVID hit during mostly 2020, I was just in the knit grit, like ready, things getting ready to go on for the next year. That was like pause. Mm-hmm. But you know what COVID did? COVID has definitely given me time to. Oddly enough, I became very familiar, a lot of respect. There is some good sistership and brothership growing with my Jersey, New York people, mainly through technology, or just not knowing who was already watching me and them telling me now, like, what? Like, yeah. So it's been fun as hell being back home. I can't front. I was already calling it the new normal before the title New Normal. And shout out to Philly, who already had signs New Normal before the word New Normal. I just always look at hindsight, like look at that.
Janae, you being a transplant from up north, then coming down south, then going back up north. What's the difference between the vibes of house music up north versus down south?
Oh, okay. So first of all, both get down. I won't even do that to like who gets down the most, because matter of fact, people don't know Atlanta gets down probably. No, it'd be just as crazy. Yeah, just as crazy.
Right.
And I say, but think about it. Most of these people are transplants. We all are transplants. Mm-hmm. So I can't really say that I meet anybody that was born and raised in ATL in the house scene in Atlanta. I know a lot of ATLians, but I'm introducing them to house or telling them about it per se. The difference is the amount of as far as the people, seeing different faces. Up north, you're truly in the tri-state area, and I take advantage of that being back home. I have DC, Baltimore, Philadelphia, my own home state, Jersey, except for I have to travel further north for the party. So it is still a travel for me, but I don't mind it. I like to drive. It's worth it, And then you cross into New York. And I never been to Boston at all, your hometown. Right. I still look forward to that in my life, There's some hot dancers out there, yeah.
DJ Bruno, like it's hard. Connecticut as well, like
yeah. I think about Rhodesia, a Mavu dance, when I think about that Connecticut, well, respect the Mavu. I still mainly just chat through online. We really only ran to a couple of them since I've been home, as far as the vibe and dance with. But basically to say, that's the essence I needed in my return home. I return home like a true Sankofa moment of full circle. Like, listen, I'm going to take all this extra patience, spiritual energy, all that I learned about me down south. But I need to come home because I have a lot of youth in my family. I'm almost about to be an auntie to 10, as far as 10 nieces and nephews. One is in the morning.
Wow.
Congratulations.
And they all, and they're trickling down, and I'm introducing them to house. I am. So, matter of fact, the one that's 21 was supposed to get his first indoor experience, but COVID hit. He was so excited.
Wow.
COVID hit.
It'll come.
But it's still coming. It's still coming. Right. Yeah. And then the same way I would give to the community in Atlanta, and I'm not even technically from there, but I delved into history there. I do it at home with Camden Good Vibes open mic. He asked me to perform one time on my birthday, and it was January 2019.
What does that make you, Pisces?
I'm a Capricorn cusp.
Okay.
Like the very end of Capricorn, I started Aquarius, and I truly feel both sides.
Okay.
Mainly because my dad's an Aquarian, I think too. Blood, So, but doing that for them, I'm now actually considered part of their leadership team. So I help now behind the scenes and still perform, especially once we, get back on track. But that right there, it's like a baby to me, because that's where I'm born and raised. So these are 20-somethings and younger, and it's actually all ages. But how I even came to be introduced was a 20-something generation of house heads and a DJ I was supporting, and then we just clicked out from there, hanging out in Philly. Yeah. And that's been like a baby to me. And my shoe drive is still my baby. That was a big deal to me to keep that going despite I moved home. As far as the variety of people, the variety of places is what helps keep my house energy alive being back home, besides delving into other personal life things. And that's a major difference from down south, where as much as I love seeing my house family there, you're going to always see those same faces, and that energy becomes stagnated, in my opinion. And it needs to grow, and it needs to vibrate. So you need the new generations. We don't know who had kids. The only thing I can encourage is the DJ / promoters, producers work together more, big time. Because if whoever's going to still stay and see that they're going to okay, I'm really going to live in Atlanta for a long time, then you're like, how are you going to keep house alive when everybody was transplants? A lot of people have moved,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Shanae, tell us about what you currently have going on, and in addition to that, something that we're all familiar with you doing. Tell us about Souls for Souls.
Cool. Well, one of the things I did not want to let go was that, despite that I returned home, and how you're moving with the right spirit. I did not expect, literally, it was still within my first year being back home. You got to get resituated, things like that, where I was able to still continue the shoe drive. And it was bigger than ever with the amount of shoes given from not only house families, friends, co-workers. I mean, I took a boatload of shoes driving down to ATL. And that was the first time I truly recorded the journey, because that was a big journey. That was serious, By that time, we started at Wild Pitch. By this time, I believe we were, we were still at Wild Pitch when I returned that year. Yep, because the guy flung his shoes up over the wire, I remember. So yeah, wow. When I returned to Atlanta for that holiday party, we were still at Wild Pitch.
Shout out to Wild Pitch.
And yeah, so the following year, I said I retire in that drive. Thank God I did. It worked out where the shoes were able to be done and delivered free through Soul for Souls. That's why I like working with them, because they give little perks to help get the shoes to where they need to be. Stan and I have both talked about working with local charities or things, how I'm going to do it, because now that I'm stretching my wings and building with the northern community for it. I've already spoken to plan that I'll be working with the promoters of some people here to be a part of that. I'll just make it multiple parts leading up to Stan's holiday party, like knowing I'm always going to return for that, but I'll work out the logistics, because that's really something of the heart. I felt that house, as promoting music of love and all the positivity, should be a leading role in give backs. And
it made sense.
It's 8 years running. Never would have fathomed it. We only took the pandemic year off because it's a lot to deal with. I'm OCD a little bit. I was not ready. But at least I kept the game plan going, like as far as, okay, I know how I want to do it when it returns, or how I hope it can look. But yeah, I always find a way to use house as a give back. I use the performance with Camden Good Vibes for the youth, getting more energy and giving back to my community. And I'll perform anywhere just to do that. Of course you want to get paid for it. Who doesn't? I ain't gonna front. But at the same time, I'm gonna do it regardless, because it's here. It's heart and soul.
And that's what matters.
Yeah.
That's what matters. That you're doing it genuinely from your heart.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, before we conclude, I know that you was talking about a project that you was involved in, at Coney Island, I believe.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked.
Talk about that.
Kristen Johnson put together. It was so professional.
Shout out to the sister.
Yeah. Very professional. And it was still kind of the height of the pandemic, so it was a little nervousness. We went out to Coney Island. It felt like we kind of had it to ourselves because it's been shut down, with the normal activity. But yeah, I can't talk much about it because we try to keep it as a little, little surprise.
Understood.
Yeah. But Kristen has done a hers is a doc. I can't say it's a docu-series that I know of.
Right. I saw some pictures.
It'll be released, I guess, if I'm not mistaken, it'll be released during 2021. Mm-hmm.
All right. And I thought I saw some pictures on Facebook that you posted.
Yeah.
From it. Right.
Kristen M. Johnson, if anybody is asking about, that's her Facebook name. I have my Instagram their name, but I go there, but I'm more Facebook friendly, and that's because where I started at.
Okay.
I let go of my page, brought it back, and that was all about rebirth. Yeah.
The reinvention of self. Definitely.
Well, we're looking forward to that, Shanae. You make sure that you keep us updated on what you have going on.
You have any links or information on where the people could find some of your works?
I have it there exactly as you said. That's my actual name is pronounced Shanae Webb. I definitely get Shana, Shauna. It's okay. It's a conversation piece. I just correct you. Some people see the accent, some people don't, but it's pronounced Shanae Webb.
Right.
And that's my Instagram, aka Kaleidoscope Web, or at Kaleidoscope Web. Kaleidoscope, part of that was given to me by a youth I worked with when I used to work for at-risk youth before getting into hospitality.
All right.
They actually named me Kaleidoscope Poet, but I got tired of other poets asking me if I do poetry and me saying dance is my poetry, just how I speak is my poetry, Right. So I was like, I'm gonna keep my last name. I just twisted it up a bit because I was like, Lord, But I love the kaleidoscope because that is me, like different lights that you're gonna see different colors in me, different facets from. Hair modeling, which I performed, even dancing with that. We had 2 Bronner Brothers shows to be exact. Yeah.
All right. Now.
Yeah. I forget myself sometimes, but I have my resume. You best believe I'm always ready. I have a talent resume, regular resume.
Well, in conclusion, Shanae, appreciate you taking this time out to come and chop it up with the Pop-Up House Heads.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh man, thank you for allowing me to tell my story. Sometimes you just need to do that when you start growing your wings for something you love, and I love house so much. I've truly traveled the world and want to travel some more. Not the world, but travel outside of the country, outside your arena. Yeah, like Mikasa. Shout out to Mikasa Holiday.
That's traveling the world.
Holiday cruises. Tabor cruises. Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah. So. Right, and that's what I want to leave to encourage everyone in the house community. Raise your palates. Know that there's new generations that need to see, hear. Use your this is history. You're going to start having your own her story or history. Remember it, write it, document it, because it's worth telling, and I love y'all. I love y'all as my Atlanta house family. That's an extension. And I'm glad to be home, growing more, and going to continue to travel for sure with this. Yeah.
Well, Shanae, thanks for giving us a lot of food for thought tonight.
And we love you back, sis.
Shanae Webb, also known as Kaleidoscope Webb, enlightening the essence of our house culture with Papa's Househeads.
Yeah.
WREK 91.1.
Oh yeah. And it's 9 times out of 10 is going to be a weekender, because everybody's looking forward to that, and that's a great way to return. Yeah.
No doubt.
Well, shout out DJ B, wherever you are. We got a surprise guest popping up. I think y'all gonna like it. In the theme of Women's Month, salute and shout out to all the sisters and the feminine energy out there.
Yes. Wear your crowns, queens.
There you go. In conclusion, thank you, my sister.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You have a great day. Andy B, appreciate you.
Talk to you soon.
All right, and house family, peace. Thank you for joining us.